students, in this session I will discuss about eubacteria. Okay, so in the previous session already we have discussed that Archaebacteria, and you know the kingdom Monera, or the kingdom Monera that includes the prokaryotes as Archaebacteria, eubacteria and mycoplasma. And Archaebacteria in the last session I have already explained. So in this session we will discuss about eubacteria. So what are eubacteria? So eubacteria, or that is known as true bacteria. The true bacteria are known as eubacteria. They are different from Archaebacteria or that ancient bacteria. So this true bacteria or the eubacteria, they have rigid cell wall that is made up of peptidoglycan and lipid, and some of the bacteria they are motile, and the motile bacteria have flagellum as the surface structure, right? Then this eubacteria, as already we have discussed, they contains the nucleoid, that means naked genetic material, and they do not have any membrane bound structure. Clear? Then here particularly we will discuss about cyanobacteria, that is an important group of true bacteria. They are otherwise known as blue-green algae, right? So this blue-green, what are these blue-green algae? Where are they found and how they are important to us, that we will discuss here. So where we find the cyanobacteria? They are usually found in aquatic medium, in fresh water, in marine water, and some are also found in terrestrial medium. And they often form blooms in polluted waters. You must have seen in polluted water resources that the surface is of some color, right, having some bad odor, and usually that is covered with the scum, right? So that scum which covers the surface, that is nothing but the bloom, or that is the cyanobacteria, right? So the cyanobacteria are unicellular or colonial or filamentous. Unicellular means they consist of single cell like this, or some are those single cell but they remain in groups like a colony. So they always remain in groups. So they are known as colonial, and some are in filamentous form like this, right? So then the colony, cyanobacteria colony, they are generally surrounded by gelatinous sheath or mucilaginous sheath as a protective covering. Here you see that this filamentous blue-green algae that is covered by a mucilaginous sheath, right? So this is about the cyanobacteria. Then they are all photosynthetic autotrophs, right? They are autotrophs. That means they collect their energy for survival by themselves, and these are photoautotrophs. That means they carry out photosynthesis and get the energy. So how do they carry out photosynthesis? So remember, this blue-green algae or the cyanobacteria, they have plant-like chlorophyll pigment. Clear? So here you may ask the question, these are the prokaryotes, how can they contain the pigment, chlorophyll pigment like bacteria, like plant? Because you know the pigments are present in the chloroplast, and chloroplast is a membrane bound structure. So, and you know the prokaryotes do not have any membrane bound structure. Then where these pigments are present? So in case of cyanobacteria, what happens in the cytoplasm, in the periphery of the cytoplasm, right, just below the cell membrane, in the peripheral region of cytoplasm, there are some membranous structure. These membranous structures are known as thylakoid, right? They are not present like stacks in the chloroplast in plant. They are simply single membranous structures. They remain scattered throughout the peripheral region of the cytoplasm in cyanobacteria, right? So this thylakoids or the membranous structure contains pigment, and different type of pigment like chlorophyll A, carotene, xanthophyll, phycoerythrin, phycocyanine, etc. So by the help of these pigments, they trap the sunlight as the source of energy, and these are the organisms which break down water or which utilize water in the presence of sunlight, and they split this water to release oxygen. And one more thing here, you remember that the cyanobacteria are believed to be the first organism which evolved oxygen, that means which carry out photosynthesis, utilize water as a resources or as a raw material, and evolve oxygen. So when the earth, when the life is originated, these are the first organism to make the atmosphere oxygenic, that means they release the oxygen by the process of photosynthesis, right? Then one more important characteristics of this, that is they have the capacity to fix atmospheric nitrogen. So first thing, what is fixed atmospheric nitrogen? That means nitrogen fixation. So they carry out nitrogen fixation. So question is, what is nitrogen fixation? So the process by which atmospheric nitrogen, that is N2, inert nitrogen, right? The process by which atmospheric nitrogen N2 is converted to ammonia, that is NH3 in the soil, is known as nitrogen fixation, right? So how these organisms carry out nitrogen fixation? This cyanobacteria, they has the capacity to convert this nitrogen to ammonia because they have some specialized or differentiated cells. Here you see, these are some differentiated cells known as heterocyst. So this heterocyst contains an enzyme known as nitrogenase, and they also provide micro anaerobic environment. Why? Because here another thing you remember, that nitrogen fixation takes place in presence of nitrogenase enzyme complex. Note it down. Then this nitrogenase enzyme complex works in anaerobic condition. So this heterocysts are specialized to provide anaerobic environment, right? So that nitrogenase enzyme can function and convert the nitrogen to ammonia. And when it is converted to ammonia, then it is converted, this ammonia is converted to some other form like nitrate, so that plant can absorb this nitrate and utilize it for synthesis of many nitrogenous substances like amino acid, proteins, etc. And on this, all other organisms depends directly or indirectly. So this nitrogen, remember, the atmospheric nitrogen cannot be converted to absorbable form or utilizable form directly. It takes place usually with the help of microorganisms, and cyanobacteria is one of the important organism which can fix atmospheric nitrogen to ammonia, and so that can be converted to some other utilizable form, and plant can absorb it and utilize for itself as well as provide to other organisms. So this is a very, very important microorganisms, right? So this filamentous forms of heterocyst, already I have mentioned what are the heterocysts. These are specialized cells to provide microenvironment for the nitrogen fixation, and examples are nostoc and anemone. Then how the cyanobacteria are important. So as I mentioned, they have the capacity for nitrogen fixation. That means they increase the nitrogen content in the soil, and you know nitrogen is one of the important nutrient for plant, right? And we usually use this NPK fertilizer, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium fertilizer, for better growth. So this cyanobacteria, if present in the soil in sufficient amount, they can fix the nitrogen into the soil. So they increase the nitrogen content of the soil. That means they increase the fertility of the soil. They support the better growth and development of the plant. So they are used as fertilizer, or they are used as biofertilizer, right? Because of their nitrogen fixing capacity, right? For example, nostoc and abena, etc. Besides, there are some blue-green algae or cyanobacteria which are very rich, highly rich in protein. For example, spirulina. So this is a unicellular blue-green algae and that is rich in protein. So they are used as a protein supplement for human being and is known as and is used as single cell protein. Remember, spirulina is a very important single cell protein and consumed as a protein supplement in case of human being. Besides that, besides cyanobacteria, many other bacteria are also having number of importance for human being, right? As already I have mentioned in the previous session, the bacteria may be autotrophic, may be heterotrophic. So this heterotrophic bacteria are maybe parasitic, maybe saprophytic. So this parasitic bacteria, or they are known as pathogen, they can cause different type of diseases in human being, in plant and in any other animals. For example, the diseases you must have heard: typhoid, tetanus, diphtheria. So these are leprosy, cholera. So these are some of the diseases caused by bacteria. Similarly, in case of plant, citrus canker, bacterial wilt. So these are some of the bacterial diseases, right? Besides, there are some heterotrophic, saprophytic bacteria. They are also very, very important. For example, lactobacillus, that converts milk to curd and that enhances the nutritional value of milk in the curd. So that is one usefulness of heterotrophic bacteria. Similarly, many bacteria act as decomposer. So that decomposes the dead and decaying matter, right? That decomposes the dead and decaying matter. So they clean up the environment. Clear? So this way heterotrophic bacteria are very, very useful besides this cyanobacteria. Then coming to mycoplasma. So mycoplasma, remember, these are the smallest bacteria or smallest prokaryote, and they are different from the bacteria because of their cell wall, right? They do not have cell wall, they lack cell wall, but the bacteria, the eubacteria, they have cell wall, and also the archaebacteria, they have cell wall, but mycoplasma do not have cell wall. And these are the prokaryotes which can survive without oxygen, and these are mainly cause diseases. These are disease causing organism. They cause disease in plant, man and other animals, right? So here one more thing I would like to mention, how the cyanobacteria are different from other bacteria. So here you remember the cyanobacteria, they have chlorophyll like the plant, right? So that is one point. Second, they have membranous structure, that is the thylakoid in their cytoplasm, which other bacteria do not have. Then one more thing, remember the cyanobacteria do not have flagella, right? They do not contain any flagella. And next is, because of presence of different types of pigment, they also impart different type of color. So that is another difference from the other bacteria. And these are having heterocyst, which is very, very important, and they carry out nitrogen fixation, right? So these are some points you must remember to differentiate the cyanobacteria from other bacteria. So this is all about the eubacteria, or that is the true bacteria. So thank you.